Hey, shalom, and stuff. So by giving no praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai, double honors supposed to GMS and honors to brothers doing the work in truth, what sincerity. This one's a bit old, says published November 22nd of this year, 2017. I've just come across it. Right, it says the censure fires about 50 works for refusing to get flu shot. Right, more into how Esau just plans to have complete control over the world and just says, look man, you're going to do as I say. You know, these people lost their jobs for basically refusing to take something that kills them. So that's, because Esau will go around saying, no, it's for your health, it's good for you. Which is the nature of Esau. He will find ways of marketing the chip, the RFID mark. Oh, it's good for you. These times taking that chip is going to lead to your destruction. Right, it says Sirach 12:10. It says never trust thine enemy. Right, Esau's our enemy, and no matter you don't trust anything this man says. You run everything this man says through the scriptures. Right, because this man is the devil. He was designed to be the devil. Right, it says for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right, so you look at the properties of iron. Iron will rust. Iron plus oxygen equals oxidization, which equals rust. Rust is iron oxide, if I'm not mistaken. Right, and basically saying that's something that is inevitable, and that such as Esau's wickedness. Right, he will do. He will fuck you over. Ask Gad. And then make a holiday about it. It's as though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Basically saying, look man, he'll come to you all nice, he'll do this, do that. Beware of him, man. The guy's always got an ulterior motive, even if he's so-called doing good. Right, because he's told the world that these shots and these vaccines are for the better of the world, right? But they're not. Our elder over here in London, Elder Rakar, he always goes into how about how they tell you to jab up your baby, but your baby's not even physically ready enough to be even taking those kinds of pathogens up into their body. And he goes into it a lot better than I can. He studied the biology quite intensively, but you hear it and he's like, damn, why would anyone shoot up a baby with vaccines, right? This is Ecclesiasticus 38:4 says, the Lord hath created medicine out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Right, there is a saying, let food be your medicine and medicine your food. Right, which is what it's talking about here, that the Lord has created medicines out of the earth. Right, you look at the herbs. Right, and the scriptures also talk about honor a physician. Right, this is up here as well, verse 1 says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which he may have of him. Right, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Right, because you can use the herbs. Right, you can take the herbs. However, take them wrong, you're gonna fuck yourself up. You can take too much, you can take too little. Well, you can take too much of certain herbs, and they might be poisonous. If you take them, if you put them on your skin, it can heal. But if you ingest it, you eat it, drink it, whatever, it will kill you. Right, which is why you got to honor a physician, because a physician will be able to say, hey, this, that, and the other. Hey, you don't want to do it this, or you want to do it that way, right? Says so the medicines come out of the earth, the herbs, the plants, all of that. Right, it says, and he that is wise will not abhor him, which is further proof that the people in this world are not wise. Right, because you start talking about quote unquote, the Esau calls it alternative medicines, and people are already laughing at you, they're looking at you funny, but hey, fuck them. They can die trusting Esau. It says 2 Corinthians 12:7 says, and lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. Right now we don't know what ailment or thorn in the flesh that Paul had, but right. But the point I want to make here is what it says in verse 6 is, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice that it might depart from me. Right? Because at the end of the day, you can take the herbs, but you gotta pray to the Lord, right? That what do you call it? That your ailment goes away, right? But you see what the Lord came back and said. He said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Right? Most gladly, therefore, I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahushua Mashiach may rest upon me. So basically, this is going into how, you might take the herbs, this, that, and the other, and then pray as well. But the Lord might be just like, hey, man, that's something you got to deal with, just to keep you humble. Brothers have had certain ailments, man, and you can just tell they've been humbled, man. Remember, there was a time, what you call it, brother in account's face, just, I don't know what it was, just bare spots just appeared. You could tell the brother was going through something, man, just humbled, man. Right, and then after a period of time, the brother, took a black seed oil and that, once again a herb, and, prayed to the Lord and that, and it went away. But then there'll be certain things you might pray to the Lord to get rid of, but it's just there for your own good ultimately, although it may be a hindrance in this side. Right, it's just to keep you humble. But like I said, this is just more further proof of this new world order that Esau's trying to implement. Man's lost their job for because they didn't want to take the flu shot. Man, that's how you gotta be when the chip comes out. You gotta be like, look, man, they're gonna say, hey, you can't work. If you don't have this chip, then you're gonna be like, okay, I'm jobless then. If they say we're gonna treat you as an enemy of the state, if you don't have the chip, you're gonna have to say, okay. Because Esau was trying to, like I said, make himself into a god. I could go on. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.